welcome to Shift Trash Media. I'm Justin.
I'm Mike.
Today, we are going to try to make my 63 Ford Fairlane with all original paint look a little bit better. Sounds like it's going to be hard to do. We're going to do the Comet bath. If you've never seen it, you're about to.
Yeah, that's pretty slick.
All right, so as we said, we're going to Comet bath Fancy the Fairlane. So we watched videos on how to do this. How long ago?
6 months.
6 months ago. And we were too lazy to look it up again. We're just going to go with it, see what happens. But here's what we're going to try to do. So essentially, we are going to wet the parts that have the rust stains and everything. You'll see the before of those in just a second. We're going to wet them. We're going to sprinkle some good old Comet on there. Not sponsored. And, and then we'll take our handy dandy dish sponges and we'll basically wash it. We're sort of using this as like a super high grit sandpaper, right?
Almost like wet sanding.
Well, yeah, there you go. So basically what it should do is it should take this surface rust, and there's a lot of rust stains on this car, but as every other vehicle pre-70, mid-70s, roughly, it's just single stage. There was never any clear coat on this car, just a few coats of, is this epoxy? Oh, it's lacquer. Lacquer. Just a few coats of lacquer.
Yeah.
And so we're going to keep, obviously.
Looks like one coat of lacquer.
We've already burnt the other two, over the years. So it'll still have the patina look. You're not getting away from that by doing this. So if you're watching this video thinking it's going to completely restore your 50-plus-year-old paint, you're wrong. But it's going to keep the patina look, but it's going to clean it up. It's going to get rid of the orange, so to speak.
Hopefully some chalkiness too.
Yeah, it's got a lot of chalkiness, pretty much. If I run my hand on the hood right here, I got white on my hand like I was on the chalkboard. After we get that cleaned up, we'll wipe it down real good, water, maybe some soap. Then we have this Jax Wax spray and seal. Picked this up from the Jax Wax of Lexington. They host dailies and donuts that we go to. There's other videos on that if you'd like to watch those. And so I talked to the guy that owns it, super nice guy. This is a paint sealant. Is that the best way to say it?
Yeah.
So
protectant.
Protectant. Great word.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want a shiny finish. And I also don't want to spend whatever the Poppy's patina sauce, that's a clear coat, or Poppy's patina, whatever. And then the patina sauce is the way I understand it, it's kind of like a linseed oil, but better. But you can get that in matte, but it's like 50, 60 bucks. This was like 15, I think. And I can use this on my motorcycle, my truck, and my wife's vehicle to wear the patina sauce and all that. Wouldn't be very helpful on that stuff. Well, let's check out these spots so you'll see what we're going to be working on. We'll get to it. So now that you've seen what we're up against, we're going to get to it. We're going to start here on the hood. One of us is going to work on the bad spot on the center of the hood. One of us is going to start on this fender and hood area. Let's get to it.
pretty rewarding though to see a spot and then you go over it a little bit
Right.
and the spot basically disappears. I mean, it's not really happening on your car, but when it does, it's a good feeling.
In my defense, I know what my car is. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can tell a difference right here under this trim panel.
Yeah. You can definitely tell where there's a rust spot and it's got a little bit of orange at the side of it.
Right.
You go over it and the orange just disappears. And you're still left with the bad rust spot. But
the good news is there's enough rust spots on here that you should be able to get that several times. Oh, yeah.
Big difference?
Yeah. On this A-pillar, I instantly tell a difference. Okay, I'm a believer now. I just had more actual surface rust than I thought. All right, so that quarter panel and door and camera issues.
I hate when that happens.
When it goes limp, the quarter panel and back door. A lot of the stain came off, but there's a lot of surface rust in there. So when we do the after, you should be able to tell a pretty good difference in it. This right here. Let me tell you the story about this right here. This car sat in the driveway. I was gone out of town working. My wife set a case of water on the trunk and forgot about it. I'm sure most of y'all understand how plastic works. It holds moisture. And as we discussed before, there's no protection on this old paint. Well, the moisture held, and now we have nice little rust spots and rust stain all right here. So probably the most hated thing on the car of mine as far as rust and all that is right here. There's no rhyme or reason, it just looks dumb. At least the rest was earned over time instead of like a week.
You don't like your cheetah print?
No. That camera doesn't like being like that on that gimbal either.
No.
On that tripod. So we're gonna hit the trunk. That's basically it. Mike, you're working on the passenger side, the top of the quarter there.
Yeah, that part came out really well.
Yeah, across the top of the fin here on my side came out really nice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hit the trunk. Then I'm gonna see if it'll do anything around the grill. I think most of that is like pinhole rust and surface rust, but we'll see. Then we'll get it rinsed off and give you a nice little after. We'll do an after.
As somebody who's never done this before, how do you think it's going?
Well, I like what I see. Yeah, all right. So real quick, I guess you can see this. There's a lot of actual rust, not just stain. Anyway, honey, if you're watching, this is your fault.
Just scrub it harder.
So yeah, I kind of had a little bit of an expectation, obviously, because we had researched this before and then never did it until now. It does. There's some of the rust stain, I guess, came off real easy. That surprised me, and I do not mean any disrespect if we watched your video of you doing this. Most of the vehicles we watched the videos on were actually either in a lot better paint shape than this car or a whole lot rougher. There wasn't any that I would consider a direct comparison. So with that being said, I'm very happy with it so far. I will be very interested when we go rinse it off. I don't know if it would show up, if it showed up on the camera very well in the before, but you noticed like on the doors and stuff, there was a lot of variation to the color from other stains, water stains.
It looked like it set for a while.
Right, yeah.
And the water just ran over the same
did. I mean,
spot
it was
for
a
years.
barn find, we'll say. I'll be interested to see if it evens that out. Obviously, with it wet and the Comet on it, you can't really. Okay, this is cleaning up a lot better than I thought it was just a second ago. Still your fault, honey. I will be interested to see if it done much with that. Because I do remember we watched a video of a dude, I think it was like 60, it's pre-67 C10. So what, 63 to 66? 62, 66. What's that based off?
60 to 66.
60 to 66. I think it was that. And his paint was in pretty good shape. However, he had similar issues, had a lot of variation to the color. And from what I remember, it really helped that truck. So I will be interested to see if we get that. Oh yeah, this is, I know you can't really see it. You'll see it in the after. Practically all the stain's gone. All that's left is the little bitty rust spots from the cracked paint, as Mike spoke of earlier.
Oxidation.
So yeah, no, I'm happy.
That's hardly noticeable now.
Right. That's a huge difference.
I mean, I wouldn't store water on my car.
Yeah,
now, but
there's a lesson. Don't put anything that holds moisture on
something that's designed to hold moisture.
Right. On your classic car with single stage paint. Best not to do it on any vehicle, but especially these. Alright, so I know it's not showing up real good with the camera back there, but all around here, and that's a hole right here. Yeah, where my finger is. Right in here, there's a lot. Again, I can't really tell if it's rust and stain, or if it's just all rust, or if it's just all stain. We know now, as we've done 99% of the car, it's stained, it's going to come off. So see that, and then I guess we'll hit the chrome with some
probably wash it first.
Wash it first.
Yeah.
And chrome, it is what it is. There's
do some experimenting anyways.
A lot of rust specks. Let's get this done. All right, so we Comet bathed. In our humble opinion, my humble opinion, just from the Comet bath and a wash, it looks, I said 8 times better. Mike, what do you think?
8.1. I think 8.1.
8.1.
Maybe,
All right.
maybe 8.2.
Ooh, an 8.2 times better. All right, so now we're going to throw this sealant on it, the Jax Wax spray and seal. Mike, you read the instructions?
I did.
Good, because I don't do that.
Spray on, wipe off.
Spray on, wipe off. It's right up our
Basically.
alley. Simple.
It says buff to a high gloss, so we're gonna be here for a while.
Ooh. All right, we'll see you next week. All right, we're gonna throw this on it, let it kind of dry a little bit, and then we'll do the nice close up around, show you the spots that we hit real hard. Get your opinion on it.
I think it looks a lot better.
I think it does too. Well, you heard it. We both think it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
So, walk us through what we did, Mike.
Well, we did a Comet bath, whole car. That worked out pretty well.
I think the Comet bath did wonders.
Yeah,
I had
did as much as it could.
right. I had reservations on how much it would do, simply because this car has a lot of surface rust. However, I will say that as somebody that looks at the car every day, it's a big, big difference.
And how much was that Comet and those sponges?
Probably like $3 or $4 combined.
It's well worth it.
I think I spent $12 or $13 between that and the steel wool, and then yeah, I think the steel wool was the most expensive thing I bought, and it was just your average dishwashing sponges. I got a 6-pack and we used 4 of them.
Yeah, and didn't have to use that.
Right.
We just used those
to wet it.
All
right. Then we took it up, we sprayed it off, gave it a little bath to make sure all that stuff and the crud, because I hadn't washed it in probably like 3 months. Make sure everything was off of it before we brought it back down here.
In your defense, it hasn't been very good weather for car
That is
washing.
true. It hasn't been drove since, I guess we drove in December. We were still driving the old cars to work. After that, brought it down here. What is this, Mike? What did we put on it?
Jax Wax.
I'm going to bring this up here just so you guys can see it. You've been hearing us talk about it.
It is purple.
Look at that. Right in there, focused on it. Jax Wax Spray and Seal. It is important to note. How would you put it?
It's made for gloss cars. We're struggling a little bit on the gloss side.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to tell on camera when we do the walk around here in just a minute, due to the lighting and everything. You can see it has left kind of a sheen on this car. This car has not had a sheen in probably 55 years. It's not super noticeable, which is what I wanted. I didn't want the high gloss clear coat look over it. I mean, and to be honest, I didn't even really expect it to have any kind of sheen. I just wanted it for the protectant. Maybe help slow down the rust a little bit, give me an extra day out of her. But yeah, this is not meant for what we did with it.
Not meant for patina cars.
Right. It's meant for your nice newer cars with clear coat that still shines. However, it's protectant. Like I said, that's really all I wanted out of it. I believe he said it was good for like 6 months, 6 to 9 months at a time. I'll probably do it again in a few months when the official spring is here, just to add that protection to it. Then we steel wooled the bumpers, the door handles. You went crazy. I think you steel wooled pretty much every shiny piece you saw.
Everyone I could get my hands on.
The bumpers. If you've never used steel wool and chrome, try it. Use the superfine stuff.
Yeah.
Don't
quad
use
aught.
don't use the big grit.
I've never tried that. It may do just fine. But
I wonder if like that's for another day. But my back bumper, the top part's shiny, the bottom part's got quite a bit of rust specks. I wonder if you dug in there with that, if it would scratch it up. Oh no, we'll experiment with that in another video. So after that, it's good to go. We're gonna do the walk around.
we did spray that on the bumpers.
That is
after
true.
that.
Well, we didn't. We had the cloths that were saturated.
Yeah.
Wiped this on. You could tell it went on. You saw the cloudiness of it, and then took a dry cloth and wiped it back off.
And it really made them shiny.
Yeah, it definitely put some shine on those, and hopefully it protects and seals. We'll do the walk around. You guys let us know in the comments what you think. No more time. Let's quit wasting time. Let's do the walk around.
Yeah.
Well, you saw the after. Pretty impressed with it.
Big difference.
You still at 8.2?
8.5.
8.5 times better than it was when we pulled it in here. I'm going to go with 8.7.
Oh.
Because it's mine. It's got to be better.
Makes sense.
Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check us out on the other socials, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. And we'll see you next time.
Peace. Do we have a real game plan?
Yeah.
Would you like to share the game plan?